Good evening. You are watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. The United Nations expresses its appreciation of the Sultanate's role at regional and international levels and the continued support of its efforts in various fields. The Sultanate is selected as a guest of honour at the International Exhibition of Navigation in France. And 28 people are killed in airstrikes in rebel-held Idlib province in Syria. Those were the headlines. Now for the news in detail. His Majesty the Sultan has sent a cable of greetings to His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari of Nigeria on the occasion of his country's National Day. His Majesty the Sultan has sent a cable of greetings to His Excellency President Nikos Anastasiades of Cyprus on the occasion of his country's independence anniversary. His Majesty the Sultan has also sent a cable of greetings to His Excellency President Xi Jinping of China on the occasion of his country's National Day. His Excellency Yusuf bin Alawi bin Abdullah, Minister responsible for Foreign Affairs, met in New York with His Excellency Antonio Guterres, UN Secretary General, and His Excellency Miroslav Lajčák, President of the UN's General Assembly. The two meetings discussed aspects of cooperation between the Sultanate and the United Nations, current regional developments, and how to find appropriate settlements to regional issues through the UN's efforts and concerned international parties. The Minister listened to a detailed illustration of the UN's reformation plan, which is currently being discussed by member states, and the two UN officials expressed their appreciation of the Sultanate's role at the regional and international levels and its continued support of the United Nations efforts in various fields. The Sultanate will take part in the International Exhibition of Navigation in La Rochelle City in France. The Sultanate's delegation to France was acquainted with the French experience in ways to utilise historical sites for tourism purposes. The Sultanate was selected to be a guest of honour at this prestigious international exhibition. The Sultanate's participation at this exhibition aims to strengthen deep-rooted ties with France and highlight Oman's tourism potentials. The Omani pavilion in the exhibition will represent various sectors in the country and shed light on its seafaring legacy. On the sideline of the conclusion of the Invest in Dukum promotional campaign in the Indian cities of Delhi and Mumbai, the Special Economic Zone Authority at Dukum signed a Memorandum of Understanding with Adani Ports and the Special Economic Zone Company of India. The memorandum states putting an official framework for the investment cooperation between the two sides and improving infrastructure in the main sectors in Dukum zone. Adani Company will present a detailed list of the projects it will establish in Dukum Economic Zone during the coming stage and will discuss issues with regard to further investments. Muscat International Airport topped the list of the most growing airports in the Middle East region in terms of passenger movement for airports, which have the capacity of 5 to 15 million passengers. As per a report issued by the Airports Council International in Montreal City in Canada, the passenger movement via Muscat International Airport recorded a growth of 25.2% during July 2017, while the passenger movement via the airport on a daily basis reached 7.7% during the current year. The committee assigned for studying and determining The committee assigned for studying and determining the sale prices of oil products in the Sultanate announced the new pricing of oil products for October 2018. The sale prices of M95 reached 205 beza for 1 litre. The price of M91 reached 186 beza per litre, and the price of 1 litre of diesel reached 211 beza. The Ministry of Oil and Gas announced the new pricing of oil products for August 2017. Still to come in our news bulletin. The Ministry of Tourism launches 10 sites winter season project in various governorates of the Sultanate. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. French President Emmanuel Macron has invited Iraqi Prime Minister Haider al-Abadi to visit Paris, saying the aim is to calm tensions after the deeply divisive Kurdish independence referendum. The presidency said France wanted to help Iraq to stop tensions from setting in following the vote on Monday, which saw Iraqi Kurdistan overwhelmingly support secession. Macron stressed the importance of preserving the unity and integrity of Iraq while recognizing the rights of the Kurdish people. The office of Abadi, however, today denied that Macron's invitation had any link to the crisis with Iraqi Kurdistan. Abadi's office stressed that the invitation was first made when French Foreign Minister Jean-Yves Le Drian and Defense Minister Florence Parly visited Baghdad on August the 26th. Turkey and Iran, which both have their own Kurdish minorities, have denounced the referendum. The Syrian Observatory for Human Rights said today that overnight airstrikes killed 28 people, including 4 children, in a village in rebel-held Idlib province. The Syrian Civil Defense, a rescue service operating in rebel-held areas, also known as the White Helmets, put the preliminary death toll at 26. Dominated by the rebel group formerly known as the Nusra Front, the Idlib region had seen a 6-month lull in airstrikes until the latest escalation. However, the overnight airstrike targeted the village of Armanaz, a few kilometers from the Turkish border. Turkey, Iran and Russia had agreed to create a de-escalation zone in Idlib. US Secretary of State Rex Tillerson met with Chinese President Xi Jinping and other officials today on issues including trade, North Korea, and preparations for an anticipated visit by President Donald Trump to China in November. Ties between Beijing and Washington are considered more crucial than ever, with the standoff over Pyongyang's nuclear weapons and ballistic missiles entering a new, more dangerous phase as its leader, Kim Jong-un, and Trump exchange personal insults and threats of war, with no sign of a diplomatic solution. On Thursday, Beijing ordered North Korean-owned businesses and ventures with Chinese partners to close by early January, days after it said it would cut off gas and limit shipments of refined petroleum products effective on January the 1st. China has also banned imports of North Korean coal, iron and lead ore, and seafood since early September. Shabab militants attacked an army base in a southern Somali town, killing at least 20 soldiers and looting equipment. The assault on the Somali National Army military camp in Baria, around 40 kilometers west of the capital, Mogadishu, began with 2 suicide attackers detonating their car bombs before gunmen overran the base. A Shabab spokesman said the attack was in retaliation for the deaths of 11 farmers in a night raid by Somali commandos who were receiving US military assistance. Somali forces had only recently established the military outpost at Barire after taking control of the town in August with the help of the African Union troops. The militants have been fighting to overthrow the internationally backed government in Somalia since 2007. Lin Chin-tae is among a handful of craftsmen in Taiwan who still specialise in handmaking the qipao, a high-collar, figure-hugging garment which was once part of many women's daily wardrobes. Seen as increasingly impractical, the tailor-made qipao is mostly worn only at weddings and special events. Here is a report.
Weaving the fabric of tradition. This Taiwanese tailor still makes the qipao by hand. The famous Chinese dress's popularity may be sliding, but he wants to keep the yarn spinning for years to come.
I am in my 70s now, and I teach my pupils as much as I can, and hopefully they can strike out on their own in the future.
One of his students is hoping to do just that and open her own boutique.
The qipao is so beautiful. I hope to learn and pass on the traditional craft in Taiwan.
The qipao was the must-have dress in 1920s Shanghai and was popular here in Taiwan until just a generation ago. But these days it's mostly reserved for formal occasions. One group of enthusiasts has formed its own club, organising outings to workshops such as this one.
As I get older, it's a pity that not as many women are wearing them now. I'm very nostalgic of the qipao and feel that it best represents the elegance and beauty of ethnic Chinese women.
But all is not lost. A new generation of tailors is emerging. Li Wei-fan studied and worked for 5 years with a master before opening his own shop.
With the Asian market on the rise, those of us who have a rarer craft will be more competitive.
And therein the challenge, marrying old and new to ensure the qipao can be enjoyed for generations to come.
Back to some more local news. The Directorate General of Health Services in the Governorate of Dhofar organised the first Dhofar Pharmacology Forum. The event coincided with the celebration of World Pharmacists' Day, which falls on 25th of September every year. The number of pharmacists from various governorates of the Sultanate took part in the event. It discussed some work papers related to pharmacology practices. An exhibition was organised on the sideline of the forum, displaying latest developments in the field of pharmacology. Raising awareness among all segments of the society on the importance of the tourism sector and preserving environmental and cultural components were the aims of the celebration organised by the Tourism Directorate in the Governorate of South Batna. The event came to mark the World Tourism Day. It stressed the concept of sustainable tourism and shed light on the natural and archaeological touristic sites in the Governorate. The celebration also highlighted the need to invest in the tourism sector by small and medium enterprises in the fields of green inns and archaeological houses to enhance this promising sector. Winter season is considered an important tourism season due to the moderate weather in the Sultanate. In parallel with the ambitious plan to activate tourism in the country and attract tourists from all over the world, the Ministry of Tourism has launched 10 Sites project, which focuses on exploring 10 touristic, cultural and historical sites in various governorates of the Sultanate. These sites include Bat Archaeological Village, which was registered on the World Heritage List in 1989, Misfat al-Abreen with its distinctive architecture and natural beauty, Al-Jabal al-Aqdar with its various touristic potentials and eye-catching natural beauty, and Al-Huta Cave and Jebel Shams. Among the sites are Ras Al Had Turtle Reserve, Khor Najd in the Walaya of Kasab, Shakia Sands, Wadi Bani Khaled and Wakan Village. The Ministry of Tourism also designed a creative programme for winter tourism in the Governorate of Dhofar. Now for the general weather forecast around the Sultanate. Partly cloudy skies will prevail over the coastal areas of the Governorate of Dhofar and its nearby mountains, with chances of intermittent drizzle. The rest of the Sultanate will have clear skies with chances of scattered rainfall over the Hajar Mountains. Winds will be southerly to southeasterly, light to moderate. Seas will be slight with a maximum wave height of 1 metre. This is a Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. The United Nations expresses its appreciation of the Sultanate's role at regional and international levels and the continued support to its efforts in various fields. The Sultanate is selected as a guest of honour at the International Exhibition of Navigation in France. And 28 people are killed in airstrikes in rebel-held Idlib province in Syria. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, it's good night.